Peace is the star with the star blooms. Just a second ago, I did a live speaking about the voice of God, and I basically was speaking about the different scenarios. Spirit wanted me to come back on and actually go a little bit deeper into what I was stating about the different scenarios. Um, the desire to be at a rate where we recognize. I want to say this because it matters. Like this cough, I know for a fact it's like essential symptoms because it is like the driest cough and it goes away. Like it'll come and it's like gone. And it only happening like when I get on a live. But I given three different scenarios. One was basically like okay, when we get quiet, I should have rewatched the video so I would have remembered. I know y'all gonna help me remember. When we get quiet because we're at a rate on our journey where, we're working through something, we're like journeying, and it's our spirit team's turn, you know, while they're doing what they're doing, you should be focused on doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. A lot of the times, because we get so used to the microwave spirituality, 1, 2, 3 community, because we just get so used to the rate of existing and living the way that we have been. We'll get on here, we'll watch 1,000 tarot readings, we'll continue to divine over the same circumstance, asking the same questions to different tarot readings, getting multiple readings, continuing to like connect ourselves to worry, stress. I call it mini mama, instead of big mama. This is, mini mama. This is almost like the Capricorn energy, daughter Earth, basically deciding that mother universe isn't necessary because she got it. It's one of those things where it's egregiously disrespectful and out of order. However, it's how we've allowed ourselves to be conditioned. The reason why the silence is required while you're perceiving in spiritual, I don't know if it's a difference. I believe it is a difference. I don't know why I'm being called to say spiritual intuition. I don't know why I just stopped to do that. But versus intuition. You get what I'm saying? But basically, you got stuff that you could do. You know, a lot of the times we get in the habit of wanting to fix things because we see things falling apart. But a lot of the things that we see falling apart are towers that we caught in by our actions, by our behavior. What does that mean? You start healing shit and then things start falling apart. People start getting pissed off and you mad that they mad at you, but you don't recognize that your desire to move away from is going to tear down a lot of strongholds because you have been the source of energy, y'all. It be like a whole city sometimes that you be supplying. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who you are, okay? So be be comforted in the spaces where you feel like you aren't getting the answer that you need in meditation, where you feel like you aren't getting the exact time frame that would make you feel comfortable. Be comfortable in the discomfort, knowing that you've made a decision and your discomfort is going to be representation of your, I don't know why I was about to say final boss. It's like of your agreement with spirit. So what does this mean? I'm going to set the intentions. We're going to have a relationship. I got a relationship with my spirit team, okay? So because I have a relationship, we've built up what is a back and forth? I don't know why I'm saying morale because that's not it. Give it to me. Um, yeah, it's a muscle strength, okay? It's like muscle memory. We've built up this rapport. Thank you, spirit. Thank you. We've built up this rapport with each other. And this is our way of being now. They know you. You got to remember them. You got to remember how y'all do y'all thing. Okay? And I just heard that's enough. Get your rest now. Okay, so the other race are pretty much the same, y'all. Okay? When you're starting out your journey and you're asking for the discernment and you're trying to figure out, well, what is intuition? How do I know if I'm speaking to my higher self, or what's a monkey brain, and how do I connect to, mental notes for me to be able to tell the difference between a mental note? You'll know because you'll know. It'll be either so specific or so out of the ordinary that it will be, I ain't think of this myself. Shit, I asked a question. This popped up. It got to be this. I'm going to write it down. Give you a notebook and a piece of paper. Piece of paper or notebook and a pen. Close by, blue ink pen, purple ink pen, green ink pen, pink ink pen. Okay, choose based off of where you at with it. Rid yourself of writing in black, finalizing certain race of your destiny without being aware of it because you're practicing in things that are absent of what it is that you require when you're calling in, when you're intending for, while you're scripting. So, but when we start out on our journey, y'all, and you want to know what that voice sounds like, you just really learning how to love yourself enough to trust you because it's going to sound like you. And the reason why I believe that source allows it to sound like us, that still small voice, that profound awareness to sound like you, because spirit wants us to be at a rate to where we recognize that trusting us was always the key to get in. This ain't one of those like VIP party sections where you could buy the table or purchase enough bottles to be able to bypass, certain rates. You can't skip line or pay the bouncer to be able to allow you to get in when the club is over full. Like, you're the only person with the access codes, the key fob you know about. You placed it in the place where you are the only person who will remember it. And the only way for you to actually gain any access to this rate of information is you tapping into your subconscious, allowing yourself to be in this space, losing the idea that you have to, need to, or even desire to control, allowing what is to be present with you, and starting to get at a rate to where you go into this space visiting enough so when you're outside of yourself living, how I am speaking to y'all right now, I can feel in my body, okay, that's enough. And I know it's my spirit talking. So I don't have to, I'm not questioning whether or not what they said is accurate. I know what they said is accurate. I could feel it, you know. You'll start, I got offended at first because one of the definitions for intuition is non-verbal, um or yeah, I believe it's some type of verbiage like that. Non-intellectual perception, I believe it is. Okay. I don't like that because I don't believe that it is non-intellectual. That's my perception. That's just how I feel. Okay. I'm not about to try to go up against Webster. I'm just saying I don't believe that. The reason why I don't believe that is because I believe that if you know what the meaning of intellectual is, this is what they're saying to me. If you know what the meaning of intellectual is, then you have the ability to perceive where they're coming from. This is just the whole idea of spirituality versus like science, how there's the facts versus, things that can't be supposedly quote unquote proven. And they have to put these things out there, use these words to be able to actually cover their end of it because they aren't to proclaim or to set anything in a firm space when it comes to spirituality because it's not something that they could prove with science. That's what I just heard just now. I believe that when you recognize that you are the person who's granting you the space that you are moving into, when you are learning how to actually recognize what is happening, how it's happening, releasing the fear and the anxiety from these spaces to be able to take the power back and showing up and not being so distraught. A lot of people are at a rate to where they're making decisions and it's like, well, what you been doing, girl? What you been doing, sir? Okay. How you been showing up? It's the same thing. It's no different. All right. I love y'all.